All right, let's go ahead and get started. Again, I want to welcome you to Belmont-Redwood Shores School District, specifically this evening to the Transitional Kindergarten and Kindergarten Information session. Welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us on this rainy evening. I want to introduce two of my colleagues joining us. First, Chuck Donovan, the principal at Central Elementary School. Second, Principal Ryan Hanson-Vera, principal at Nesbitt. And my name is Dan DeGuara, and I'm the proud superintendent of Belmont-Redwood Shores School District. I also want to recognize the name that you see on your screen, probably, BRSSD webinar. That's Jerome Simon, our director of technology. He is the magic behind the screen that makes all of our tech work so flawlessly. So thank you, Jerome. I also want to just take a moment to recognize our Board of Trustees, which I understand are attending this session virtually, just like our parents. Thank you to our amazing Board of Trustees. And then finally, I want to start by just with a little personal reflection. As I was thinking about tonight's event, I was rewinding my life about 10 years ago, where my oldest was starting transitional kindergarten. He's currently a freshman in high school now, but about 10 years ago, we were starting the journey that you are today. And transitional kindergarten was just an amazing opportunity for him. It gave him an extra year of school. Really, he's grown up to be an amazing young man that's confident and excelling in all areas. My second son, he's in 6th grade. So again, I remember attending these kinder orientation nights again as a parent. To just get our students' education, my son's education, kicked off on the right foot. So thank you again for being here tonight. A little bit of housekeeping. Tonight's session is one of 3. We had one yesterday. We have one tomorrow. All 3 sessions are identical. They're facilitated by different folks, but they all are working off the exact same content, the exact same slides. We will be posting videos on the district website, as well as a link to this presentation for additional information. Tonight's chat feature has been disabled, but you can feel free to ask questions via the Q&A feature on the webinar. I will do my best to answer all your questions as we go through the presentation. Any questions that we're not able to answer, we will post on our district website. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into the slideshow. So a little bit about us. We are one district comprised of 7 schools. And the really important piece of that is we like to think of ourselves as one, because whether you're at Fox Elementary on one side of the district or Sandpiper or Redwood Shores on the other side of the district, you're going to get the same fantastic high quality education across the board. We have 7 schools. So I should say one of our schools is TK grade 8. One of our schools is grade K8. We have another elementary school that is K8, and the rest of our elementary schools are TK8. So I'll just share, calling that out. Nesbitt and Central do not have transitional kindergarten. That is simply because of space availability and site flexibility. Students that are part of the Nesbitt or Central communities will get access to high quality TK at our other schools and be priority enrollment for kindergarten at both Nesbitt and Central. So don't let that discourage you. We are a district of about 4,000 students. We have approximately 31% of our students are Asian Pacific Islanders, 11% Latinx, 35% white, and 1% African American. 8% of our students qualify for free or reduced meals, but I will say 100% of our students have the opportunity to eat free breakfast and lunch every day, and we'll get to some information on that a little bit later. Each of our schools, every year, we receive distinguished recognition from California Distinguished Schools, Central, Redwood Shores, Ralston, Cipriani, Sandpiper. Those are the most recent. Nesbitt, Sandpiper, really many of them have received Kent Awards, which is a county distinction. We've received robotics awards and Achievements in Motion awards. And I think that just speaks to the comprehensive education that's provided district-wide. Next slide, Jerome. Thank you. In addition to the accolades we receive, we are most proud of the academic performance that our students show. Last year on the California assessment, our students ranked in the blue category, which is level 5 out of 5 on the California dashboard in both language, arts, and math. The highest that you can achieve. We're extremely proud of that. But we also recognize that learning is we emphasizing the whole child. So we really have a whole child approach, emphasizing both academics and social emotional health. We're proud to have a robust team of counselors, social emotional curriculum. We have amazing teachers and dedicated staff who ensure that our students reach all of their goals. And then finally, the third component, and one of the most important, is strong parent involvement. We want all of our families to be involved with their children as part of their education. We know that our parents, alongside of their teachers, ensure that our students attain the highest achievement possible and thrive. So that's a little bit a big picture piece. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our two principals to lead us through really the nuts and bolts and day-to-day of school.
Awesome. Thank you, Superintendent Deguara. Again, I'm Ryan Hansen-Vera. I'm the principal at Nesbitt School. I'm really looking forward to talking with you about the awesome adopted curriculum that spans across our district. One real strength is that from school to school, we really have a strong adoption of materials and curriculum that we fully implement. So we use Readers and Writers Workshop. We have an awesome foundational phonics program called Super Kids. We have a TCI History Alive curriculum that is very popular and really gets the kids engaged. We use math expressions, twig science, and second step is our social emotional curriculum. So really we're focused on academics, but also making sure that our curriculum touches the well-being of all of our students. And also we have a really strong connection with the Common Core state standards and working hard to make sure that all of our early adopted curriculum is aligned with our school standards. So as your little new one starting school with us, it's important to understand some of the schedules. So transitional kindergarten is on a half day. So school starts at 8:20 and then dismissal is at 12 every single day. Lunch is offered for our TK students before dismissal, and also breakfast is served in the classroom. Kindergarten, their day is a little bit longer. They do have lunch on campus and some really great opportunities for social play. So school runs from 8:20 to 1:30, and that's a daily dismissal of 1:30. So kiddos are really having a nice, well-rounded kind of experience when they're here at school. Really great foundational skills take place, as well as all of those social opportunities. Just note that our district engages in minimum day dismissal every Wednesday. So in K through 5, kids are dismissed at 12:20. So that doesn't affect TK, but on Wednesdays, kindergarten is also dismissed at that 12:20 release time.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. Again, I'm Chuck Donovan, principal at Central. So in order for kiddos to do their best learning, they need to have full stomachs. And so we offer free breakfast and lunch at all of the school sites. Breakfast in class is a part of the instructional day. Lunch is served outside of the instructional day, time, and that goes along with midday recess. More info on this will be coming out in August when we kick off next school year. And please know that families with limited income may qualify for additional services and programs. So it is important to complete the applications for free and reduced meal status just to make sure. Lastly, please make sure that with the meals you're having conversations with your kiddos, because we want all kiddos to eat, but it's important to know like what they're liking at school and what they're not. So please keep those lines of communication open so we can keep feeding our kiddos so they can do their best learning. In terms of getting your kiddo ready for TK, so this is a huge transition, and there's some small incremental steps to give them the independence and have them ready to conquer TK. So, one, independent bathroom skills is huge. That's a must. Learning to follow the group plan. So, while we all love our individuality, it's important for the little kiddos to start being able to follow group directions. This is a big one. Button, snap, and zip clothing. It is a process, so start that process now. Washing hands, and then this is a huge one, is opening snacks and lunch. So just making sure that things that they're sending, they are typically able to open on their own or with minimal adult assistance.
And then for kindergarten, we are really making sure we're building their independence skills, but also them being comfortable on a large school campus for the first time. It's really important that your child's able to articulate their first and last name. Often when the little guys join us on campus, an adult greets them or asks them, "What's your name? Whose class are you in? How old are you?" They tend to freeze up a little bit. So really practicing with your children, then being able to clearly state their first and last name is a wonderful skill. And also being able to say their teacher's name. So once you get those assignments, really practicing. I also recommend taking your child to your assigned school and walking around the campus with them. Take them on a walk on the weekend, get familiar, try to find their classroom room number, talk about maybe pickup spots or where mom and dad will be waiting so that they feel really comfortable. Also, really, we're talking about being able to say your first and last name, really talking about those pre-writing skills. It is okay if your child is coming into kindergarten, not knowing how to write their name, not knowing all their letter formations. That is okay. But certainly getting them motivated and familiar that they're going to be playing with letters and experimenting and get them used to writing with paper and pencils and things at home will really get them set off on the right foot for kindergarten. We practice a lot of social parallel play skills, taking turns, sharing items, making sure that we're using toys appropriately. So really talking about those things. They're going to be interacting with lots of different children. We really practice some basic cutting skills and using other kind of markers and putting caps on and really making sure that they're able to take care of those supplies on their own. Sounds kind of simple, but really these are the foundations for pre-writing. This is what we want to maintain in kindergarten. And then also we want them to start being able to count and write all of their numbers to 10. So working on those things now, getting them motivated and ready is the best way to kick off kindergarten. So it's there are some registration kind of deadlines and requirements that we want to make sure you are aware of. The best place to look for any of your questions is the BRSSD website. The enrollment portal is open for you. It is important that, yes, you're completing the online forms, but that you have all of the required documents ready when you register for school. If you have questions about those, you want to go to brssd.org online enrollment. You can find everything there. There's a list of required documents that you are going to need when you fill out the online enrollment form. You actually need to bring the completed copy of that form. So print it. And then you're going to need to bring a driver's license. You're going to need to bring your student's birth certificate or passport, and it cannot be a copy. You need your proof of residency. That can be in a few ways. It could be a bill or a lease or a rental agreement. And then two bills that have your name and address on them. We need your child's updated immunization records. And if your child is coming from an outside program and they have received any special education services, whether it means either speech or OT, any of those things, we like to know that during the registration process so that we can get them the services that they need. There are some frequently asked questions that we've gathered during these sessions that we want to make sure you have the answers to. So I'm just going to go through them really quickly. So first, the online enrollment packet, like I said, complete it online, but also print it. And we sign it at the time of registration. So it's kind of like a double backup. So please make sure you're printing it and completing it online. all of the required documents need to be present at the time of your registration appointment. So all of those supplemental documents, please don't come to the registration appointment without them. It'll just delay the process. The original parent or caregiver ID has to be present at the time of registration. So we need to have your most recent identification. Again, all the immunization records must be up to date and presented at the time of registration. It's a requirement of being able to enroll in public school. And lastly, if residency is not with a parent or caregiver, the residency documents must be shared. And there is an affidavit that you'll need to fill out. All of those are available for you online. And if you have any questions, again, phone a friend at the district office. Like, this is the time. We're working with families, getting them registered for school, and we're here to help you.
All right. Speaking of help, we have a delightful group of administrative assistants who are waiting to help you get registered to get your kiddo to TK or kindergarten. At the district office, it is Victor Ramirez, Joan Durstein at Central, who is delightful. Go, Joan. Julie Bachtegan over at Cipriani, Fox, Maria Acevedo, Linda Fonseca at Nesbitt, Monica Rubio at Redwood Shores, and Carmen Rogers over at Sandpiper. So you can come through any afternoon and register your kiddo at the district or at the school offices, and please make sure that you bring all of the required documentation when you come so you can do it in one trip. All right, we have a variety of childcare options for TK and K families. We have champions that are at Sandpiper. There's also the Sandpiper Youth Club. San Carlos, Belmont Aftercare, which they're at Fox and Central. At Central, they are the only on-site aftercare provider. And then there is Footsteps, which it runs at Cipriani, Redwood Shores, Nesbitt. And so that all functions out of Barrett Community Center. And so that is all, and they also serve Central. And so what that looks like is they have vans that pick up the kiddos at Central at pickup time, and then they bring them to the Barrett Community Center just down the hill. Couple very important notes about age eligibility. So TK is open to 4-year-olds whose birthday occurs between September 2nd and April 2nd, including them. And that's for this school year. This is for coming school year. TK is open to 4-year-olds whose 5th birthday occurs between September 2nd and June 2nd. TK open to 4-year-olds whose 4th birthday occurs by September 1st. Kindergarten is open to all whose 5th birthday occurs by September 1st. Just a reminder that this will be online if you didn't catch all of that.
So as a new member of our community, we want to make sure you really understand when Mr. DeGuara shared that like parent involvement and communication is important, that really is truth. Not only am I a principal in this district, but my daughter is also a 2nd grader in the district. So like Dan was sharing a bit of his story, I also have seen the amazing impact that parent involvement has had in this district for my own child's education. And one of those ways that we do that is the amazing nonprofit organization, Education Foundation, School Force. School Force really works to bridge the gap in funding and to work with our school district and our local PTAs to really ensure that our students receive the best programs and services possible. And then our PTA's mission is really to impact the lives of the students and families at each school. We think about School Force as the house, and then our PTA is all the beautifully decorated furniture that makes it feel like a home. So, and all of this is because of our parent volunteers. So I'll share a little more information. Next slide. So the first thing to remember is that we are a community-based schools. We want our parents in the classrooms. You are your child's first teacher, and you're the first influential adult in their life. And so we can really continue that bridge, particularly with TK and kindergarten. There are tons of opportunities for parents to come into the classroom. We have room parent opportunities, lots of opportunities to volunteer, going on field trips, working the book fair, participating in school site council and ELAC. It is the voice of our parents, of our newest students joining, because our goal is that you're with us to and through 8th grade. Additionally, School Force and PTA, it's important just understanding when we're doing fundraising asks with School Force and PTA, they've raised more than $3 million to invest in students for this school year alone. School Force works very hard in our community. This is what makes BRSSD so special. It's the donations from our families that make our school district so great. It's a very unique, wonderful kind of experience for kids, seeing the resources that our students are able to be provided because of this amazing connection with School Force and PTA. So I love that tagline there, that together we build better Belmont-Redwood Shores schools, and every school in every grade for every student. And that's really the mission. There's no competitive feature, and when we raise funds for our school, we're raising funds for our district so that our grade level programs are top notch, and that starts in TK and kindergarten. And then, of course, we love to share some accolades. So these are things that BRSSD parents are saying about schools. You'll have the opportunity to do this too. Our district participates in a survey called the Youth Truth Parent Survey, and every family gets to share their feedback, and we really take those pieces of feedback to heart, and we really take the extra mile in making sure your voices are heard. So here are some great things that parents are saying about our community. They feel that our schools across the district are filled with kindness and that foster really that whole child development. And there's lots of focus on social emotional learning. Our community definitely has a common vision for the future, and our district has done a lot of great work around that common vision practice. We have a tradition of excellence, as you can see. We meet our standards. Our students are performing very well academically, and we are receiving lots of accolades as a district. And then, of course, our parent community is really what helps our children thrive. And it's because of your support and your investment in your child's education that our public schools feel like the best private school you can ever send your kid to.
And I heard that pause. I was busy responding to a couple of questions. I can just go ahead and share this here. Appointments are between 12. The question came up about morning versus afternoon appointments. Our appointments at the district office are between 12 and 4 p.m. Of course, if you're not able to come to those during those hours, please just reach out to the district office. And we'd be happy to assist you and look at some other options. I'm looking for other questions. I will mention if any of our families are coming to BRSSD from outside and their children have IEPs or 504s, it's important that you share that IEP or 504 with our team when you register. We want to make sure that all of the services are connected prior to your child starting school. It also never hurts to make sure that in that first week of school you share your IEP or your 504 directly with your classroom teacher. And if your child has any other special needs or there's any other additional concerns that you have, please reach out to our team and we'll help you navigate that process. There is so a question came up in the chat. Is there an attendance requirement for TK? Formally, children are only required by state law to come to school at age 6. TK and K are not compulsory. However, that said, we feel that it is critical that anybody eligible for TK or K attend school regularly and every day. We do follow our normal absenteeism process and our attendance review for our TK students and our K students, just like we would any of our 1st through 8th grade students. So while it's technically optional via the state, we follow pretty strict attendance requirements and require daily attendance. I'll pause there, see if we get any other questions in the chat. A question came up about multiple children attending BRSSD schools. Yes, we want to make sure that families have the opportunity to send their children to one school if that's possible. Clearly, if you have a TK and an 8th grader, it is possible at one of our schools. but perhaps not the others. We do offer sibling priority, meaning we take a look at all the registration for siblings. We make sure that they're matched up at the school where their brother or sister attend, so that families have hopefully one drop off. Let's see, space. It says, sorry if I missed this, but is there space for children that are eligible for TK for 24-25, or will there be a lottery and preferential to siblings? We will accommodate all of our students who are TK eligible via the state birth date requirements. We do quite a bit of planning in advance. We've done demographic studies. We look at trends year over year, and we are planning for all of our kiddos, again, that qualify for TK to join us in BRSSD. Again, Nesbitt and Central do not have TK classes. Those students will be attending one of our other schools, but will automatically roll back to Nesbitt or Central, one of their two closest home schools, for kindergarten. I think that looks like the Q&A is wrapping up. I want to thank our two amazing principals, Principal Donovan, Principal Hanson-Vera. Thank you for joining tonight. I want to welcome you again to Belmont-Redwood Shores School District. You are in for a treat and many, many, many fun years ahead. So welcome to BRSSD. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out, and we will see you in the fall. Thanks so much for attending. Bye-bye.